Hello everybody, this is Ryan with Fishthatwontquit. Today I want to show you my shad rig. Shad are extremely fun fish to catch. They fight really hard. They're great for crab bait when you have them. Also sturgeon love them as well. Really easy to catch as well. Here I have some of the lures that I like to use. For example, I have over here some wobbler style lures. This is a Dick Knight spoon and a Simon wobbler. They just go in the water and they wobble, and shad love them. Just tie it on, let it out. That's all you need to do. Shad darts are very popular as well. You can do the same thing. You just tie it on, let it out, and that's all you need. Over here I have some jig heads. These are 1/16 size, also 1/32 size work really well. But what's really important with these is that you have some kind of grub to put on the end. These grubs would probably be why I catch 80% of the shad that I do. Here's an example of one of my lures that I've set up just to test out. It's an inline spinner with a couple beads and that grub, and this thing has caught me a lot of shad. For the line I like to use, I use a 6-pound leader for those lures, and then a 10-pound somewhat bumper style, which I'll show you here in a second. But what you'll also want to need or want to have is your weights. Cannonballs are great. When you're in a boat, you're going to want to use the cannonball. If you're drifting off the bank, you can use, little bank sinkers or lead and drift these lures across the river. This setup I'm about to show you is more of a boat setup, but here it is right now. So the rod I'm using is actually my steelhead rod. I didn't want to go out there and buy a specific shad rod. I would say your steelhead rod or something with less power is going to be your best bet. And what I have here is a 30-pound braid. That's the main line that's actually connected to my rod. And then I have this bead here to separate this first swivel and the top of my rod. I hate when I reel in and that swivel gets caught up in that eye of the rod, so I put that bead there for separation. So now, so the next step is that braid goes to a swivel, just a standard swivel, and then here's that 10-pound bumper I was talking about. So what I have here is a dual lock to start it off. That dual lock helps so I can take this off whenever I need to. That's easy when I'm setting up or taking down my gear. And that leads to a 10-pound line about a foot here. That foot then leads to a 3-way swivel. I like to get 3-way swivels with a little clip on the end. That clip just helps me change out my lures faster, and I like that separation from the line rather than not having it. From that 3-way swivel is 2 feet of 10-pound test, and 2 feet will lead up to another 3-way swivel. This way you can have 2 lures in the water at the same time. Now you can add a third. There's no reason you couldn't. I think 2 lures is plenty. It's a little bit more stress-free when you're reeling it in. A little less to worry about tangling up in the net and whatnot. Now from that 3-way swivel is 10-pound test about a foot to another dual lock, and with that dual lock is what you use your weight. So you just plop that on there. If you don't have enough weight, you can change it out fast. If you have too little weight, same idea. So that's the rig there. Now really after that, it's as simple as clipping your leader onto these 3-way swivels. So for example, I have my shad dart and my custom one I made, and I have on these leaders 2 feet of 6-pound test connected to a dual lock. The dual lock just snaps right on to the 3-way swivel here. Just make sure everything's clipped together before you let it out into the water. So that's the first one, and then you grab your second 3-way swivel, clip that next one on there. And that is it, guys. One piece of advice is if you're on a boat and you have your weight, you want to make sure you let that weight out and back bounce it a little bit to get the angle of your line a little lower so that your lures are closer to that strike zone. So how to do that, let your line down, you'll feel it hit the bottom, you'll lift up, let that current drift it out just a little bit more, and you'll feel it hit the bottom. Do that about 5 to 10 times, and then leave it there. If you're lifting up your rod and you don't feel that weight, that means you don't have enough weight. Go ahead and add a little bit heavier weight. And vice versa. If you're using too heavy of weight, you'll notice that it's really just bouncing on that bottom and you don't have enough give to let it kind of back bounce into the zone. Well, guys, I hope that helped. I hope you get out there, catch some shad. Let me know how you do. And stay tuned for more Fish That Won't Quit. Thank you.